Polarity issue. Bad beam pattern. Malfunction. Does not fit. Bright and white is best. 1. Polarity issue. What are polarity issues? Newly purchased LED bulbs that do not light up when connected due to the polarity being reversed. It could happen in one bulb or both. It's a 50-50 chance on each bulb. Why do LED headlight bulbs have polarity issues? LEDs by design are polarity sensitive. The diode is a one-way path. However, a stock bulb is made of resistant filament, which is not. How can I fix it? First option, there are non-polarity headlight bulbs available. Wait, you just said LEDs are polarity sensitive. Why are some not? A very simple bridge circuit can make it work. It works just like a maze game. The rules of the game are, is where you can go through, is where you cannot go through. Let's see how it works. Then why does the manufacturer not add these circuits to all LED headlight bulbs? There are two common reasons. Reason 1, there are many all-in-one design headlight bulbs that do not have the space to contain such a circuit. Reason 2, to keep a low defect failure rate. Second option to fix, flip the connector and reinsert. This is the easiest fix, however a lot of people are not aware of this.
To summarize, we rate 3 categories of the most common questions. How common is this issue? How expensive is it to fix? And how easy is it to fix? Our first category rates 4.3 out of 5 stars. This is a fairly common problem even in high-end LED bulbs. The second, how much will it cost, rates 5 out of 5 stars. This repair requires no extra parts or cost, just flip the plug. And finally, our last category, how hard is it to fix, also gets 5 out of 5 stars. This is a very easy fix, as long as people are aware of it.
2. Bad beam pattern. What is a bad beam pattern? SAE code J599-1997 regulates headlight beam patterns. In short, for most passenger cars, a clear beam pattern cast on the wall 25 feet in front at the same height of the vehicle's headlight optical center. So any beam pattern that does not follow this guideline is not good and can cause glaring or even a crash. Why do LED headlight bulbs have a beam pattern issue? When we talk about the cause, it's necessary to include that the headlamp assembly itself could be one of the reasons you get a bad beam pattern. This could be true in the following cases. 1. The headlamp has been replaced. 2. There was an accident in the front of the car. 3. It's a very old vehicle and the beam pattern was never checked. Since this video is focusing on LED headlight bulbs, we'll skip how to adjust the headlamp assembly. Please refer to our adjustment video for more information. Then what are the reasons the LED bulbs have a bad beam pattern? Reason 1 is design defect. Since LED headlight bulbs are designed to replace stock incandescent bulbs, the bulb light source needs to match the stock bulb. If it doesn't exactly match, then it could be a design defect. A good design should have a proper LED chip in the proper spot. The second reason, you need a beam adjustment. LED headlight bulbs should be adjusted according to its design to match the characteristics of the vehicle's headlight housing to achieve a clear beam pattern. How do you fix this? You can't fix the design defect, but you can avoid such products. When shopping for LED headlights, pay attention to the LED chips. Look for one that matches the stock filament most in both shape and relative location to the housing. To fix the beam adjustment, most LED headlights come with a removable or rotatable chuck. What's the orientation of the LED chips? Is there any standard? It depends. If you have a two-sided LED headlight, then vertical is usually the best. For single filament, for dual filament. If you have a three-sided LED headlight, then the deeper chip is facing downward. If you have a four-sided LED bulb, or with chips all around, the orientation doesn't matter because nothing will change when you adjust it.
Summary. Our first category for how common this issue is rates 4.9 out of 5 stars. Headlight housings are usually not designed for aftermarket LED headlight bulbs, and beam adjustments may be necessary. Next, the cost to fix rates 5 out of 5 stars. This usually does not require any extra parts as long as the bulb is adjustable. And lastly, how easy is it to fix? Rates 4.4 out of 5 stars. You may need to make several adjustments before getting the perfect vertical orientation.
3. Malfunction. What are common malfunction issues from LED headlight bulbs? Error codes, new bulbs flickering, randomly coming on and off, and not working at all. Why do LED headlight bulbs have these issues while stock incandescent bulbs do not? There are two common causes. First, CAN-bus. CAN-bus is the system that newer vehicles use to communicate with each part, not only to send out instructions, but also to monitor if each part is capable of performing what has been instructed by checking the value of the current running through each part. Second cause, the characteristics of the LED, light-emitting diode, differs from the filament, resistor, in an incandescent bulb. For example, this 2018 Toyota Camry LED high beam bulb flickers during DRL mode. The cause is a traditional burning filament is slow to react to the supplied PWM voltage, pulse width modulation, and the change on the burning flame is so slow it cannot even be observed by a human eye. However, LEDs are very sensitive and will flicker under the same DRL PWM voltage. How do you fix these malfunction issues? The most common fix is to parallel a load equalizer to help the CAN-bus system understand that the LED headlight bulbs are working correctly. Since the power difference between most LED headlights and a stock incandescent bulb is about 20 watts, according to Ohm's law, a 6 ohm load equalizer is needed for each headlight bulb. If you encounter a minor flicker or the parallel resistor is not practical, a capacitor-based decoder could be another option. For a more detailed fix, please check out our video.
Malfunction summary. How common is this issue? 2.4 out of 5 stars. It's only common on European vehicles and some American vehicles. How expensive is it to fix? 3.9 out of 5 stars. Resistors or decoders are available for around $20 on the market. How easy is it to fix? 4.2 out of 5 stars. Resistors must be mounted on a metal surface and requires drilling.
4. Does not fit. What are the cases that LED headlight bulbs do not fit? The most reported problem by consumers is that the LED headlight bulbs are too big and they cannot put the dust cover back on. The second is the LED headlight bulb's diameter is too large and conflicts with the housing. Why do LED headlight bulbs not fit as well as stock incandescent bulbs? The first cause is the wrong bulb size. Be sure to use a bulb size tool to find the correct bulb before you make any purchases to avoid a simple but time-consuming mistake. The second cause, the heat dissipation system is too big. No matter what kind of heat dissipation your LED headlight bulb has, fanless or with a fan, LED headlight bulbs require a heat dissipation system that stock incandescent bulbs do not, because LED chips cannot withstand the heat as well as incandescent bulbs do. In fact, heat is the major cause of LED bulb failure. Thus, the brighter you want, the larger heatsink you should expect. The third cause, adapters are required, which is very common among H1, H3, H4, H7, 9004, and 9007 bulbs. Before you think you'll need an adapter, check these tips first. 9004 and 900 LED headlight bulbs. The chuck from the LED bulbs can be removed and put an OE adapter in between the chuck and the fan. H1, H3, H4, and H7 LED headlight bulbs. The chuck from the LED bulbs can be removed and hooked to the headlight housing first. Then insert the LED headlight bulb into the chuck. If you find you need an adapter for LED headlight bulbs, compare LED type adapter with the stock to make sure you'll get the correct one. There might also be some plug-and-play solutions for your special needs. How do I fix it if my LED headlight bulb doesn't fit? Inspect the headlight housing space before you purchase. There are a variety of LED headlight bulbs with different heat dissipation systems. Some are slim, some are short, some are angled, others are tiny and still bright but with a higher price. It all depends on what type of LED headlight bulb is able to fit in the housing space.
Fitment summary. How common are fitment issues? 3.9 out of 5 stars. This issue is rare for headlights without a dust cover, but common for those with a dust cover. Needing an H7 LED adapter is very common for European vehicles equipped with an H7 bulb. What is the cost to fix? 4.6 out of 5 stars. Adapters usually run about $10. How easy is it to fix? 4.0 out of 5 stars. Some adapters are not easy to install. In this case, a plug-and-play all-in-one solution is recommended if available.
Bright and white is best. What's wrong with white color LED headlight bulbs? The excessive brightness may blind oncoming drivers, increasing the risk of a crash if designed or installed improperly. What's the cause of blinding oncoming traffic? There's no doubt stock incandescent bulbs that come installed in your vehicle are too dim to improve night driving, and they do not have such blinding issues. The reason that they do not blind people is not because they are too dim, but the headlamp housings were carefully designed and tested to work with those stock incandescent bulbs by optical engineers. In the same way, some LED headlight bulbs causing blinding issues are not because they're too bright, it's because they have a very poor beam pattern. How can I fix a blinding LED headlight bulb? First, never assume all LED headlight bulbs are equal. It's important to spend time while shopping to find LED headlight bulbs that are designed properly to work with the reflector or projector headlight housings. Second, check and adjust the beam pattern. There are some cases where you'll get a clear beam pattern that satisfies SAE guidelines right after the LED headlight bulbs have been installed. However, we have seen and installed a lot of vehicles that require multiple beam adjustments. Some even have the high and low beams reversed the first time installed without any adjustments. How about white color? 6000K white is best for driving during clear conditions, like in California most of the year. If you live in a place that rains or snows a lot or has a lot of foggy days, lower than 6000K white or even down to a 3000K yellow LED headlight bulb will work better for piercing through the rain, snow, and fog. Higher than 6000K white is not recommended unless it's a show car. 8000K blue-white is illegal in most states except for off-road use. It does look cool, but it may not help as much as the 6000K white when operating at the same power. Bright and white summary. How common is this issue? 4.7 out of 5 stars. It's not uncommon at all. Many consumers without the knowledge of beam pattern adjustment believes brighter is always better, and blinding caused by improper LED headlight bulbs becomes more and more common. What are the costs to fix this issue? 3.9 out of 5 stars. Adjusting the beam pattern does not require any extra parts or costs. However, a properly designed LED bulb from a reputable company will usually cost more than the average price, since it involves more time, material, and labor to design, test, and improve. How easy is it to fix? 4.5 out of 5 stars. Before comparing the lumens from different options, it's best to educate yourself to make the best choice. After picking the brightest option, be sure to adjust the beam pattern so it is compliant with SAE guidelines. Sometimes aiming the headlamp assembly could be involved. All of these are not too difficult, but very important. Last words. Remember, it's every driver's responsibility to maintain a safe driving environment, which we believe is the advantage LED technology gives every driver. And it's why we say ALA lighting is safer, smarter, brighter, better.